there's a decent chance you're brushing your teeth with something older than your last relationship. And that's not even the gross one. Somewhere in your house right now, there's a sponge with the bacterial population of a mid-sized city, a pillow that is, statistically, about 30% you, and a smoke detector that quietly died sometime in 2019 and never mentioned it to anybody. Here's the problem. Everyday stuff expires, but nothing warns you. There's no alarm. Your frying pan doesn't beep. It just slowly stops working while you sit there blaming yourself for the eggs. So today, 17 things you own, exactly how long they're supposed to last, and what happens when you ignore them. Fair warning, at least 3 of these are going to personally offend you. And the last one is sitting in your kitchen cabinet right now, judging you. 1. The toothbrush. Let's start with the one you're already nervous about. According to the American Dental Association, you should replace it every 3 to 4 months, or sooner if the bristles look like they survived a hurricane. Because here's the thing, a frayed toothbrush isn't cleaning your teeth anymore. It's petting them. It's giving your molars a gentle massage and calling it a career. All that scrubbing power comes from bristles standing up straight, and once they flatten, plaque just walks around them like traffic cones. Also, if you've been sick, replace it. That's your own personal reinfection device, sitting in a cup 2 feet from a toilet. 3 months. Set a reminder. Your gums are begging. 2. The kitchen sponge. Okay, deep breath. This one's disgusting. Researchers actually sequenced used kitchen sponges and found bacterial densities in the range of billions of cells per cubic centimeter, density comparable to what you'd find in human stool samples. Yeah, don't think about that while doing dishes. And the microwave trick? Boiling it? Studies found sanitized sponges just get recolonized sometimes by the more stubborn, pathogen-related bacteria that survived the treatment. You didn't clean it. You held a tournament and crowned a champion. Replace it every 1 to 2 weeks. Weekly if you use it a lot. That sponge has survived more warfare than a medieval knight, and it deserves an honorable discharge. Not another Tuesday. Better move. Switch to dishcloths you can actually throw in the wash. Or a silicone scrubber, which doesn't hold water like a tiny bacterial hotel. Still with me? Good. It gets worse. 3. The pillow. Your pillow should be replaced every 1 to 2 years. Now here's the test. Fold it in half. If it just stays folded, defeated, like a sad taco with no will to live, it's done. A real pillow springs back. Yours is currently doing an impression of a deflated marshmallow. Why does it matter? Because a pillow's entire job is holding your neck in a neutral line. Once the fill collapses, your head sinks, your neck bends all night, and you wake up wondering why you feel like you got body slammed by sleep itself. Oh, and over those years, it's been absorbing sweat, oils, dead skin, and dust mites, which is a fun thing to press your face into for 8 hours. 2 years max. Give it the retirement it earned. 4. Smoke detector batteries. This one's not gross. This one's just dangerous. Standard smoke alarm batteries. Replace once a year. Every year. No exceptions. Unless you've got the sealed 10-year lithium kind, in which case the whole unit gets swapped when it dies. And test them monthly. It takes 4 seconds. Here's where most people mess up. The alarm starts chirping at 3 a.m. because they always pick 3 a.m., and instead of replacing the battery, you rip the battery out to make it stop. And then you go back to sleep. In a house with a disabled smoke alarm, which you will absolutely forget about for the next 11 months. Don't be that person. That person is in fire safety pamphlets. 5. Running shoes. Running shoes are done between 300 and 500 miles. That's the range lighter runners on smooth pavement stretch toward 500. Heavier runners on rough ground burn through them faster. And the tricky part is, they look fine. The outside is pristine, but the midsole foam, the part actually absorbing every impact, has been compressed thousands of times and stopped bouncing back somewhere around mile 400. So now every step sends the shocks straight up into your knees, shins, and hips, and you're standing there going, weird, my shins hurt. Must be getting old. You're not getting old. You're running on bread. Rough math. If you run 20 miles a week, that's a new pair every 4 to 6 months. 6. The cutting board. Your cutting board doesn't have an expiration date. It has a condition. Once it's covered in deep grooves, the kind you can catch a fingernail in, it's over. Those knife scars are microscopic canyons, and bacteria climb down in there where your sponge, which is also filthy, cannot reach. Plastic boards scar fast. Under heavy daily use, you're looking at replacing them roughly every year or 2. Wood is different. Wood boards can last a decade or more if you actually take care of them, oil them, don't drown them, don't put them in the dishwasher where they crack and warp into a wooden potato chip. If your board looks like it's been mauled by a very small bear, it's time. 7. The water filter. The whole point of a water filter is that it catches stuff. So think about where that stuff goes. Pitcher filters typically need replacing about every 2 months, or around 40 gallons, check your specific model. They vary. Refrigerator filters are usually every 6 months. And when it's expired, it's not just neutral. A saturated filter can actually become a place for bacteria to hang out, and it stops removing what it's supposed to remove. You're drinking water that passed through a used coffee filter and calling it purified. Here's the thing though, the water still tastes fine. It gives you no signal. It'll happily let you drink through a clogged filter for 8 months while you feel great about your healthy choices. Write the date on it in marker. Old school. Works. 8. The fire extinguisher. You have one. It's under the sink. You have not looked at it since you moved in. Disposable extinguishers, the ones with the plastic head, last about 10 to 12 years. Then they get replaced entirely. Rechargeable ones with a metal head should be professionally serviced roughly every 6 years and inspected annually. Every single month, you should glance at the pressure gauge. If the needle isn't in the green, it's decorative. It's a red paperweight, because the failure mode here is spectacularly bad. There is exactly one moment in your life when you need this object, and it's the worst moment, and that is not when you want to discover it's been empty since the last World Cup. 10 seconds. Check the gauge. Move on with your life. 9. Plastic food containers. Plastic containers don't die of old age. They die of trauma. Replace them when they're warped, cracked, cloudy, deeply scratched, or permanently stained the color of last year's chili. Scratches trap bacteria. Cracks trap worse. And warping usually means it got hot enough to start breaking down. That container that's now translucent orange, that's not a container. That's a fossil. That's archaeology. The bigger issue is the lids. Everyone's lid situation is a disaster. You've got 14 containers and 3 lids and none of them match. And every time you open that cabinet, an avalanche tries to kill you. Under heavy daily use, expect around a year before the reheating warriors need replacing. And please stop microwaving the ones that aren't labeled microwave safe. 10. The non-stick pan. This frying pan stopped being non-stick somewhere around a previous presidential administration. Non-stick coating generally lasts 3 to 5 years with normal use. Less if you've been attacking it with metal utensils, running it screaming hot, or scrubbing it with steel wool like it owed you money. The rule that actually matters. The moment the coating is scratched deep, flaking, or peeling done. Gone. That's not seasoning. That's your pan disintegrating into your dinner one flake at a time. And you'll know it's dying because you'll start compensating. First a little oil, then more oil. Then you're deep frying a single egg in a 1/4 inch of butter, standing there like, yeah, she still got it. She does not still got it. Hold a small funeral. Buy a new pan. 11. Towels. Bath towels last around 2 to 3 years before they lose absorbency and start just relocating water. You know exactly what I mean. You dry off and somehow end up more damp. That towel isn't drying you. It's redistributing moisture. It's a middleman. That happens because detergent residue and fabric softener build up in the fibers and coat them. Softener is actually the villain here. It makes towels feel plush while making them worse at their only job. More urgent than replacing them, wash them every 3 to 4 uses. A damp towel hanging in a warm bathroom is basically a bacterial greenhouse. And if yours has developed that funky smell within an hour of drying, that's not a vibe, that's a colony. Strip the buildup with hot water and vinegar. If it's still useless, it's time. 12. The razor. Razor blades, roughly 5 to 7 shaves. That's it. I know it looks fine. It's metal. Metal doesn't wear out in a week, right? Wrong. The edge is microscopically thin, and every pass through hair and skin rolls and microchips it. Add a wet bathroom and the corrosion does the rest. And here's the real cost of a dull blade. It doesn't glide. It drags. So you press harder, which gives you razor burn, ingrown hairs, nicks, and irritation, and then you blame your skin. Your skin is innocent. Your razor is a butter knife. Rinse it after every use. Shake it dry. Store it somewhere it isn't sitting in a puddle. It'll last the full 7 instead of dying at 3. 13. The charging cable. Charging cables have no schedule. They have symptoms. Replace it the second you see fraying, exposed wire, bent connectors, or that classic move where you have to hold it at a precise 47-degree angle and not breathe for it to charge. That's not a quirk. That's a damaged cable with compromised insulation. And damaged cables are a real overheating and fire risk, especially the mystery $10 gas station ones with no safety certification. You've been babying that cable for 8 months. You've wrapped it in tape. You've placed a book on it at a specific angle. You've built an entire ritual around a $2 object. Let it go. Also, stop yanking it out by the cord. That's why they die at the connector every single time. 14. The smoke detector itself, not the battery, the whole unit. Smoke alarms should be replaced every 10 years. The sensors degrade over time and get less sensitive, even if it still chirps and lights up when you press the test button. That test button only confirms the alarm and battery work. It does not confirm the sensor can still detect smoke. Big difference. Look at the back. There's a manufacture date printed right on it. Go check it after this video. I'm serious. If that date starts with a 20 to 1 something, you're overdue. And carbon monoxide detectors are on a shorter clock Many are rated for 5 to 7 years, so check what the manufacturer says on yours. 10 years feels like forever. It isn't. Time is a scam. 15. The mattress. Most mattresses last 6 to 8 years. Some higher quality ones stretch closer to 10. The signs are obvious once you know them. Visible sagging, a body-shaped crater where you sleep, springs you can feel, or the fact that you consistently sleep better in hotels. That last one is the giveaway. If a random hotel bed beats yours, that's data. A dead mattress doesn't just feel bad, it wrecks your spinal alignment for 8 hours a night, every night, and you carry that into the entire next day. And yes, over 8 years, it accumulates a substantial amount of sweat, skin cells, and dust mites. Which is why a mattress protector washable is the single best upgrade nobody buys. You spend a third of your life on this thing. That's the highest cost per hour item you own. 16. The helmet. Bike helmets should generally be replaced about every 5 years, since foam and materials degrade, though always check what the manufacturer says. But here's the rule that overrides everything. If it took one real impact, it's finished, immediately, even if it looks perfect. Because that foam works by crushing. That's the whole design. It absorbs the energy by permanently deforming once. It's a single-use airbag for your skull. So the crack you can't see? That's the part that already did its job. The helmet is not damaged. The helmet is spent, and people keep them anyway, hanging in the garage, because it still looks fine. So does a used parachute. Also, don't buy a used helmet. You have no idea what it's already survived. 17. The bonus one. Your spices. Go look in your spice cabinet right now. I'll wait. Ground spices lose their potency in about 1 to 3 years. Whole spices last longer, around 3 to 4. Dried herbs are the weakest, closer to 1 to 3 years. They don't spoil. They won't hurt you. They just quietly become dust. But you've got a jar of paprika back there from a period of your life you don't talk about anymore. There's oregano you bought for one recipe in 2019 that you have never opened again. And a cinnamon container that may have come with the apartment. Test it, open the jar, crush a pinch, smell it. If you get nothing, that's why your food tastes mid. You've been seasoning your meals with a memory. Rapid fire recap. Toothbrush, 3 to 4 months. Sponge, 1 to 2 weeks. Pillow, 1 to 2 years. Smoke alarm battery, every year. Running shoes, to 300 to 500 miles. Cutting board when it's scarred. Water filter, 2 months for pitchers, 6 for fridges. Fire extinguisher, check monthly. Replace around 10 to 12 years. Plastic containers, when warped or cracked. Non-stick pan, 3 to 5 years. Towels, 2 to 3 years. Razor blade, 5 to 7 shaves. Charging cable the moment it frays. Smoke detector, 10 years. Mattress, 6 to 8. Helmet, 5 years. Or 1 crash. Spices, 1 to 3 years. So be honest with yourself. Which one are you definitely, embarrassingly overdue on? Because I already know it's at least 4. And I know at least one of them is the sponge because it's always the sponge. Go check that smoke detector date. Fold your pillow in half. Smell your oregano. If you learned something today, hit subscribe. Because next time, we'll probably convince you to throw out something else you've been emotionally attached to for absolutely no reason.